What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I want to talk to you today about the Gregory Baltoro 65 backpack. I've been using this for about the last year and a half, and I really like it. There's a lot of things about it that are really good, and there's some things about it that I'm really not a fan of and I think that can be changed. Number one is the weight. This comes in about 5 pounds 10 ounces depending on what size you get, because they have a small, medium, and a large. I have the medium pack, so mine's about 5 pounds 10 ounces. So it's definitely on the rather heavy side. But on the flip side of that, the suspension that it offers, which is a EVA, it's an EVA molded kind of back panel, and it definitely does look different than most of the backpacks on the market. You know, it offers a really great suspension where, you know, it definitely takes the weight off of you when you're hiking and backpacking into places. So, you know, is it going to weigh a little bit more? Yes, but some people don't mind, you know, sacrificing the weight because it, you know, keeps the weight off of you better than some other backpacks on the market. So one of the ways that they're actually keeping the weight down off the pack from being actually heavier than it is they use a 210 denier double diamond ripstop on top of using 210 and 420 flat weave fabrics. So they're using lightweight materials. So they're trying to keep the weight off of the pack, at least material-wise, like soft material-wise, because the suspension, etc., is that much heavier. Now, the thing that I noticed with this pack that I really wasn't a fan of, and that I almost had a problem with at one point, was the buckles. The buckle right here, at some point this is going to break. I'm just going to call it. You know, they tried to save weight with it, and at some point this is just going to break, depending upon the environment I will be in. But you can just tell when you put it on there that it's not, I mean, it makes a nice click and everything, but when you're trying to, you know, buckle it down and have it hold all the suspension in place, you know, I've already seen some people that have had this break, and for myself, I'm going to tell you that it's only going to be a matter of time before this breaks. As far as the actual shoulder straps, I really like these. They're actually formed kind of to the body. They're curved. They're like pre-curved. They're molded curved, if you will, and they really allow the pack to sit at a really good position on the body and really, you know, get that weight dispersed amongst the body really well. So one thing I really like is the actual, you know, shoulder straps. I also like the fabrics they use, the soft goods, as far as the webbing that they use for the different areas on here. I think it's, you know, it's quality. It doesn't have to be super hardcore, and it's not. And I think that's definitely a smart decision on their part to make sure that they don't, you know, have some unnecessary weight there. The one thing I did notice, though, is on the ends here, on the shoulder strap, webbing, it should be kind of stitched down, so you have like a bar tack right here, so that you don't have this come out. Because you could potentially have this come off, and then you have to go through and put it on there. Just a minor thing there. So what we have here is a nice top compartment. This is actually detachable and able to be worn because of the ability to you know, strap it onto your belt there. Use it kind of as like a fanny pack. Let's go ahead and take this off. So this pack right here, like I said, you're able to take it off. And on bottom here, you have some storage capability. It's a nice you know, ability to keep stuff that you really don't want, you know, to get rained on or really moisturized, if you will. You want to keep that stuff in the bottom part here, which is on the inside. And then on the outside, you have an external pack container here, right here, where you can have a huge amount of space. This is my actual rain fly for my hammock. Then I have some other stuff in here. I have my stove, I have my steaks, etc. A little bit of bug spray, and a towel, and some other stuff in here, toiletry wise. But this is a nice big pack. It's nice and thick. I think to a degree they could use a little bit better materials and kind of save weight on the top here, because it definitely is really heavy weight as far as certain areas go. So I think they could use some lighter materials and get away with it. But as far as the construction and the size, I really like the amount of size that's in here. So let's go ahead and get down to the front of the pack here. You have a nice, this is where that double diamond rip stop is used. You can see it's a nice diamond pattern. And you know, you have a nice size front panel here. I have a knife in there. And you can see that it has a little bit of a stretch to it, not a ton. And I actually like to see a material used that has a little bit more stretch so you can pack more stuff in these pockets here. You have a lot of different attachment capabilities here, like with these little nubs here. You can kind of rope stuff on there, attach stuff to it. Over here it has a nice trekking pole and hiking pole, and quite frankly for me, an axe pole capability here, where you have this nice little Velcro where you can put your pole on there and and then tie it down, based upon however you want to configure that there. On the sides here you have 2 compartments on either side that are exactly the same. What this is just a nice compartment where you can put some extra stuff. I have my cook kit in here and I have some gloves and etc. And it goes all the way down actually to here. So it's going all the way down to here is where that goes down to. Of course it's going to get a little bit tighter. Kind of loosen that up a little bit, but my hand just barely fits in there, so it does really narrow off down at the bottom. But at the top, it really gets huge. The capabilities is pretty great on these side pockets, and I like having side pockets, so that's one reason I actually got the bag. You can see again the double diamond ripstop all the way down the bottom here. And while we're there, let's talk about this pocket right here, where you can put a canteen, Nalgene, whatever you want to call it. You can put that right here, and you can see that you can actually tighten this down right here. You can tighten down how tight that goes in there, and it's on an angle, so when you're walking it's right here basically for you to grab. It isn't the easiest thing in the world, I can assure you that, but as far as using it, it does work. I haven't had anything pop out of it. If you're just looking for a place to put your canteen, your Nalgene, your bottle, water bottle, it fits really well. They have these 2 side pockets also on the side here, and the thing about these is they're really small. They're pretty incapable of doing anything. I put little small stuff in here like a signaling mirror, and little small things, whistle, etc., etc. That's the kind of stuff that I put in those little side pockets, but quite frankly, you can't fit a phone in there. If they were able to make that fit in an iPhone, I think that'd be a better option nowadays. When you come down to the bottom of the pack right here, you have a sleeping bag compartment. Now I have a Mountain Hardwear Pine-All 20-degree bag that fits in there. It fits in there well. It's not super squished, but I really wouldn't push it any more past this Pine-All 20-degree. And you can actually increase that by getting rid of this internal kind of separation between the top and bottom. But I have that in there now, and like I said, it fits in there pretty well, and I like that there. And again, I said, if they had a little bit more stretch material where this green stuff is, this green material, is a little bit more stretchy, I think you can get away with fitting a lot more stuff in here. Let's get to the main compartment now. Now on the top here, you have this buckled down, of course, from the front to the back, and then you have this confusing, it's not confusing, I just make it so it doesn't come apart. You have this right here, which is the tie down. So what you're going to want to do is untie that, which will open this up. Okay, nice, rather, I'd say medium kind of opening. I could also make this a little bit larger to use stretch material on the top here. I think that's one thing that companies don't use a lot of, is kind of stretchy material. It breaks down a lot faster, I understand that. But there's certain areas where, I think it would behoove people to do that, or just make this a little bit larger with the material so that when you put stuff in, it's a little bit easier. So in here I have some clothes. I got my hammock. I'm not going to go through this, actually I have a video on everything that's in my pack. But as far as everything that's in here, it does fit a lot of stuff in here. I've never had a problem with capacity. And on the inside here, you can see that there's also a water reservoir, kind of like like a Camelback, etc. capability. So you can use this and put your Camelback in there. And they also have on the top here 2 areas where you can put your hose through to bring it out to your mouth, which is always a positive. Now the one thing that really turned me on to this bag in general, was the fact that they had the front zipper here, which once you have the buckle off here, you can actually unzip this all the way down and get into the inside of your pack without having to like undo anything on the top, etc., etc. So you can get to the inside of the pack just by doing that, and that is like the huge purchase factor for me. And that's one of the reasons that I was sold on this, is because you have that ability to get into there if you need to, without having to take everything apart. And like I have stuff that I pack on top here, and I got to take that off. then you got to undo the buckle, and it's really easy just to be like zip zip and to get into there. So that's one purchase factor that came into my brain when I was buying this. Let's turn this around and take a look at the back panel. This is actually an EVA molded panel. So this is like a foam molded panel. And I can assure you that this is extremely comfortable. Nice padding on the hip pads, really, you know, grippy right here. You know, they actually use this grippy material down here at the bottom, which kind of locks into the small of your back once you buckle up. Click it or ticket. This is definitely a cool feature I like, because once you you know, hook in your hip pads, this definitely you know, keeps the pack where it needs to go, and that's part of the reason why they can get away with using that one aluminum stay, because they have this nice grippy part at the bottom which keeps it in place. If you didn't have this here, you would have side-to-side play, but you don't have that because, I mean, this is really grippy. I like this material. This is a really independent suspension, so there is a lot of movement to it. So you know, don't get you know, worried when you get it and you see that there's a lot of movement going on. That's part of it. There's a reason, and that's because it's, you know, if you look at a car, you have independent suspensions. It's really comparable to like an independent suspension. It's not a straight axle, so to speak. You know, it's really independent movement. So don't get worried when you see that, because it's actually a positive. And then coming up through the top here, you know, like I mentioned earlier, really comfortable with the shoulder pads, really padded and form-fitting, and nice channels that are cut out here for airflow. And you know, it's nice and padded in the right areas. And on the inside here, you can see how it's designed. It only has one aluminum stay down the middle. They say that keeps you from barreling and kind of going from side to side. I really haven't seen a lot of side-to-side play through using this. And you can see up top here, you know, the suspension is attached in. Same thing on the bottom as well down here. It's attached in. You can see that. So I mean, the hardware used here is good. So it's a nice, you know, put together pack for the most part. You know, stitching is really well. There's some areas where, you know, I kind of look at it and go, I could do a little better there. But you know, all in all, it's a really good put together pack. Gregory makes great packs. They're out of California. Fortunately, they don't make these in the USA anymore. I actually had a conversation with one of the reps over there and asked them. I mean, that's why I actually went to Gregory, and I was kind of, you know, through researching Gregory, you know, I was underneath the understanding that they made stuff in the USA. Now it's only specific things they make in the USA, and the majority of the packs are not made in the USA. So I kind of got, what's the word? I kind of got taken there, because I made an assumption, and then I called them and contacted them and talked to them about that, and you know, they were like, you know, well, we got to keep things priced low. You know, this is a $325 pack. If you buy it at retail without it on sale, which I didn't, but you know, when you go out and look at it now, like right on REI, $325. Is this, you know, I mean, you're thinking $325 made overseas? I mean, really put that into perspective. Usually people put stuff overseas because they want to save money. They want to pass that savings along to the customer. They want to put more, you know, product out there in the market. Unfortunately, Gregory has put things overseas, and in my opinion, is really, you know, charging a lot of money. And I think in the backpack business overall, you know, things are overpriced, and I think this definitely is a little overpriced, because it's being made overseas and it's $325, and they're really not using, you know, it's not using revolutionary kind of materials, if you will. I mean, nothing here is made on the moon or found on the moon. So quite frankly, there's no need for, you know, NASA transportation of product back to Earth. So I really don't understand where the money is going, because usually, like I said, people have things made overseas to save money, not you know, keep it expensive. So if you guys are looking for a pretty decent pack and you don't mind spending the money, like I said, you can get these on sale probably for around 250 bucks, depending on the time of year. There goes my medical pouch. But depending on the time of year, you can get these pretty cheap. You can get $100 off, you know, pretty easy if you find it on sale. So if you're looking for a great pack, it is a good pack. It does what it needs to do. Never had a problem with it, although there are certain concerns there. You know, if that doesn't bother you, you like the colors, which I like the colors as well. I like green, and you know, I like all the stuff that's about this. You know, if that stuff doesn't bother you, or you just really like this pack, you put it on and it works, because really it does work. It is comfortable, and you know, there's a lot of packs in the market that aren't comfortable after, you know, 12 to 15 miles of hiking. It's really uncomfortable. So you're going to get a lot of comfort with this pack. So if that's what you're looking for, I think this is one you should take a look at. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. If you guys have a Gregory pack, go ahead and put in the comments, or better yet, make a video response. And until next time, later.